Going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo come back at you with another video. So today we're gonna talk about, yes, you can see Kyle Pitts and what is going to be looking for him in his second season here with the Atlanta Falcons. So guys, before we get into that video, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my videos throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, we're going to talk about Kyle Pitts, our number 4 overall pick last year, the highest tight end selected in NFL history. And what can we say? He lived up to the hype. Only thing that he did not do was, the touchdowns. So and we definitely got to be able to see him actually improving that, but that's based off the play, the calls, how they Arthur Smith called plays for him in the red zone, and the quarterback being able to get him the ball. But if we just go back to last year, he was really the only weapon on the team. I mean, you think about it. Just look at the players that he was playing with on the team. No offense to any of those guys, but after Kevin Ridley actually went out, Kyle Pitts was really the only true weapon that the Atlanta Falcons had. But so you go back to some of the games, he was getting bracketed in the red zone because of his height, of course, that 6'6" um, height, and then the wingspan probably over 7 feet tall. So we definitely should be able to start to get him the ball more this year with the revamped receiving room that we have. I mean, only receivers that's here, pass catchers that's here from last year, that's still on this team is Olamide Zaccheaus and Frank Darby. So, but Kyle Pitts is definitely the was the number 1 receiver last year for Matt Ryan. He had 100 targets. He had 68 receptions, 1,226 yards, 15.1 yards of a reception. Of course, he almost broke the rookie tight end record that was set by Mike Ditka, who actually did it in 14 games. So, kind of, of course, Kyle Pitts he didn't play in the last game of the season because of his hamstring, but I think he would have broke that record if he did play in that game. However, the season's already over. No reason to put him in risk just to break a rookie record. It would have been awesome for him to do that. But he was selected to the Pro Bowl. And that was the first time a rookie was selected to the Pro Bowl since Jeremy Shockey in 2002. But moving forward, if you just look at some of the things that Kyle Pitts did last year, he had 9 games with over 50 yards. He had 3 games over 100 yards. So I think this year it's going to be some of the same. I still think that he's going to be the number 1 target for whichever quarterback actually play this year and start the season. But I think it's going to be a whole lot easier for him this year because, of course, this year, number 8 overall, we selected Kyle. I mean, not Kyle. Drake London. We also brought in Brian Edwards. We brought in Arden Tate. We brought in Cardell Hart. We brought in Demir Bird. Columbus Kid still there. Um, so we have a lot of guys that's going to be able to take a lot of pressure off Kyle Pitts this year. I think Arthur Smith's going to be able to scheme a lot more plays for him to get open, and they're not going to be able to break him as much. Um, we also brought in another tight end, Fersker, and we brought in John Fitzpatrick as well, that can with some big height definitely be able to utilize him in the red zone. And don't forget our other weapons that we have. Like I said, the um CP. So I mean, he's all over the field, out of the backfield. Of course, he came in the lead as a receiver. So utilizing all the weapons, I think that going to be at Arthur Smith's disposal this year. Kyle Pitts is definitely, I think the sky's the limit. What I do like about Kyle Pitts, if you've been watching some of the game film and what I seen when I went to the open practice that the Falcons had during the OTAs at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, he looked like he's taking a more leadership role, being somewhat of a leader for the team moving forward. So um, that's going to be good for Kyle Pitts. I definitely think he's still going to be the number one target. And if you just look at the way they utilized Kyle Pitts last year, they had him on the outside a lot. They put him in motions, and that one play that when he takes the ball and he drags across the that drag route, started. If you guys recall, that's one of the plays Julio was very successful with as well. But you're not going to be able to stay with Kyle Pitts when he's running that drag route across the field. And like I said, you can find the favorable matchups because you're going to put Kyle Pitts in motion. If you put him on the outside, if you put him on the corner, like go back to that Miami Dolphins game where they tried to put their number one corner on Kyle Pitts and he just bodied him like every play in that game. That's one of his biggest games he had of the season. We go to the Jets games. Um, and where he was able to have a great game there as well. He's fearless in the middle of the field. He does not mind going across the middle of the field, and he had some great catches. Some plays, some catches where Matty Ice kind of put the ball a little bit behind him, but Kyle Pitts was still able to actually um, bring haul the ball in and into tight coverage and come down with it. So I just think the sky's the limit for Kyle Pitts. Yes, he definitely lived up to the hype. Um, you got to think about it now moving forward. We're going to expect Kyle Pitts to actually continue getting over 1,000 yards a season. That's going to be interesting for a tight end. Believe it or not, he actually the leading. He got the most receiving yards in the season by a tight end, and he actually did that. And in that Buffalo game, he actually broke Tony Gonzalez record with that actual feat. So he is the tight end that has the most receiving yard in the season already in his first um, season with the Atlanta Falcons. So he already holds the Atlanta Falcon records for a tight end. How about that? So, Kyle Pitts, like I said, we talked about all these draft picks. We talked about all these weapons we have. We talked about the new quarterbacks. We talked about the new running backs. We talked about the revamped receiver room. But we can't forget that we do have Kyle Pitts on this team. Like I said, probably still going to be the number one option. Um, if anything, he's definitely going to be able to help the young rookie Drake London take some pressure off him this season because I still think Kyle Pitts is probably going to be drawing that double coverage because I think he's the most dangerous weapon that we do have in the passing game. So Brian Edwards is going to be helped out. Drake London going to be helped out. The other tight ends is going to definitely be able to eat as well because of the pressure and the attention that Kyle Pitts is going to get. But if we can start to get Kyle Pitts more touches in the red zone, that's what we need to see. We got to be able to see Kyle Pitts actually um, start to get more touchdowns. If you just put the ball up there with him and all these other guys, we just got to give him a chance. I know Arthur Smith is chomping at the bits because if you look at the his arsenal that he had last year compared to this year, it's like night and day. So um, and then you add in the element a mobile quarterback being able to utilize the read option. I think it's just going to bode well for whatever quarterback going to be throwing the ball to Kyle Pitts and the other weapons as well. But guys, we just got to. I just didn't want to leave this off season before we move into training camp without talking about our number 4 overall pick from last year and the amazing season that he had. Um, we did make it to the playoffs. Everybody kind of forget about him being, like I said, the highest drafted tight end in NFL history. But he lived up to that hype. And just like Arthur Smith said in his last interview, he's really just scratching the surface of what he's going to be able to do. We're going to need a quarterback that can actually be able to give him the ball. And I do think that we do have those quarterbacks on the team to be able to do that. We don't have that precision passer like Matty Ice, and people sleeping on Matty Ice. Go back and look at some of those passes he threw to Kyle Pitts last year. It was some dimes that he threw, but um, I think Kyle Pitts don't care. As long as you get the ball in his vicinity, he's going to be able to come down with it. So, like I said, I trust the quarterbacks that's going to be throwing him the ball this year, and I think Kyle Pitts is definitely is going to continue to improve, and he's going to start becoming that leader that we need for this Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, you just look at the young talent that we have, or some of our uprising stars over the last couple of years. Of course, I talked about AJ Terrell. You look at somebody like a Kyle Pitts. Um, Christian Lindstrom is another young player. That's just a stud as well. Young Wei Koo is another young player that's a stud. Of course, then we have some of those savvy veterans. Like a Grady Jarrett and a Jake Matthews. So we're starting to set that cornerstone, and we just need some of these other guys, some of these second round picks, some of these guys from last year, to just come along with Kyle Pitts, like a Okendeji and a Taquan Graham or Richie Grant. And of course, how can I forget about Jalen Mayfield? But guys, if we can actually start to look at our young players develop like we want them to, I think the sky's the limit for this team. We definitely gonna have a lot of cap space next year, but we ain't thinking about next year right now. We want to know what these guys gonna do in 2022. So, guys, let me know what you think about Kyle Pitts. Do you think he can even get to that 1,500 mark this year? I think it's going to be hard because we do have a lot of more weapons. So hopefully we spread the ball around so teams could be lost and don't know what we're going to be doing. But he's going to be that number one target because he's just that good, and I don't see any other way. How many touchdowns that you think Kyle Pitts is going to get this year? I'm gonna go 7 touchdowns. That's what his projected target was last year, that he'd have about 7 touchdowns. So I'm gonna go with that this year. Hopefully he can. If he do more than that, that'll be awesome as well. But I'm gonna try to go for 7 touchdowns, and that's right now the only prediction I'm gonna give um, before we get into training camp. And guys, that's all I have. Let me know what you think about. Yep, he is that unicorn, Kyle Pitts. And this is your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. Peace.